Well, hello, I'm Doug Robinson with Robinson Training Solutions, and today what we wanted to do is just give you a very short peek under the tent of really how a Google Plus Hangout sales meeting works, and to see the advantages of training like this in terms of how inexpensive it is. Because remember, the people that we're talking to are franchises. They're 6 different franchises, and they're in 4 different states. And all they've done is just call a timeout for 30 minutes while we have a short sales meeting. They haven't had to travel. They haven't had to have a hotel room. They haven't had to rent a car. We have no expenses other than having to pay for Doug for 30 minutes. So it makes a great way to get together. So let's join for 2 or 3 minutes. Let's join this sales meeting and get an idea of really what this is all about and the flexibility of a Google Plus sales meeting.
Well, Doug, we'll turn that on over to you.
Woo, amen. Preach on, Brother Joe. We might need to give you this last 30 minutes here as we get cranked up. Well, good morning, everybody. I got an email from Keith earlier saying that he had a little problem with the virus this morning, so we're going to miss him. So with him being on vacation last week and then not here again this week, gosh, if he was to miss next week, Mobile might get to thinking that they could do this thing by themselves. So you better get him back on board and make sure he's here on next Monday. I noticed that that you guys passing in and out of the room and listening a little bit last few minutes, noticed that you guys already talked a little bit about numbers, but let me again lift up Greg Cosgrove this morning. Here we go into the second half of the month, and Greg leading the pack. You know, when you're on top of Kurt Mays and outselling him at any point in time in the month, you know, that's not too shabby. And so it looks like Greg at over 25,000. I think that deserves, there you go. There's some big applause. Good job. Good job. And then Kurt right behind him at 24 and change. And then Adam and Mobile there at over 18,000. And then we got 2 more that are in double digits. Bach up in Sykeston at over 15,000. Again, hey, good job, Bach. And then Joe has crept over the mark there at 10 and change, and I trust that Joe will do one of his fast finishes here in the next in the next little while. So it looks like Mobile's sitting at roughly 60,000 at this point in the month. Today's the 18th, and Sykeston at about 35, Imperial at about 6. Dothan, did you figure out yet how to post this thing? Okay, all right. Again, I mean, I'd love to brag on you guys, but show me something, and you know, we need to get some stuff on the scoreboard up there. So as quick as you can get it on there, the better.
I'm sitting at 16.
Say that again.
I'm sitting at a little over 16.
16, super. Hey. There we go. That's a good month so far. And again, Chris, that's a good that's a good model for you to follow. How are things going with you? Just being.
I just started selling last week.
Right.
1,030. I'm at 1,030.
Super. You know, that's the beauty part about Alabama. It's so legally, it's so easy to get going over there. You don't have to jump through a whole lot of hoops. That makes things real easy for you. So that's great. So just keep pressing forward, and it will happen for you as long as you got the right kind of activity, and you just keep pushing it in that funnel, and off you go. Okay, super. Let's settle in and look at the lesson that we assigned. And again, let me make sure that everybody's got the extra piece. I sent an addendum piece that I wanted to you guys to print out. That is a copy of an actual email testimonial that was sent out by an inspector, and it'll be a little more relevant than the one that you read in my book in the assignment. Again, remember that your assignment this week was the segment that's called The Gift That Keeps on Giving. And what we're talking about here is after the last couple of weeks, in terms of talking about basically how to gather commercial referrals, and we also talked last week about residential referrals. Today I just sort of want to shift into this mode for the 3rd week of the month, and after you read that lesson, to talk a little bit about the fact of using email as a way to gather referrals, regardless whether it's commercial or whether it's residential. So I guess the place to start is let me start there in Mobile with you, Adam, and let me just ask the question of, after reading this this segment, what makes you think that that email would be a good vehicle for gathering referrals?
I would say because you can reach a lot of people all at one time. You can, instead of having to go out and spend a lot of time seeing multiple people, you can reach 50 people with one email, and so you're not wasting a lot of time.
Exactly. So it's much less labor intensive on you, and at the same time, it's much easier for your prospect or for your customer to participate. And that, remember, we talked about this the last couple of weeks with referrals. That's one of the problems with referrals is it's something that you're going to have to do the work for. You've got to take that load off your customer because they're busy. Either they're a business person or they're running a family and they've got a job and they're doing their thing, and it's just not conducive for them to spend a whole lot of time helping you, even though they might have liked you and liked the service that you provided. So that makes email a natural way, because as I mentioned in that segment of the book, that people now are so dependent upon technology, and we're so dependent on email. Gosh, I know folks that email and text, and they hadn't talked face to face with somebody in a long time. Now, I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that's totally healthy. But that tends to be what happens to folks is that you end up using technology on such a basis as that.